I have these friends, Dan and Sheila. They're podcast hosts.
Welcome to Profiling Criminal Minds. I'm Dan.
And I'm Dr. Redmond.
And we are back for more Criminal Minds Season 19. That's right. It's here. The first two episodes last week we had very kind things to say about, if you'll recall.
Yes.
I think we were very happy with last week's episodes. I think they did a really good job. And I'm excited to see where it goes forward because this week, also pretty solid. Yeah.
This was a solid episode, and I liked this better than the
second
other
one last
two.
week. I think it's about equal to the first one of the two last week, but no, this one, they're really going for it in a way that I found very interesting. Because again, it's how are we going to use this guy, right?
Yeah.
How are we going to use Voigt? And they found a very interesting way to do it.
Yeah, I still don't.
Please.
Well, anyway, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's fighting his demons.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens by the end of season 19.
Well, again, having this wonderful reversal again of
David.
of him and David, right? Of that scene, because they're specifically reminding us of that scene from season 17 where David is there with real Voigt and Dream Voigt at the same time, but now it's happening to Voigt. Like, that's fantastic. And it plays really well.
Yes. But Dream Ghost, we call them Ghost.
Yes.
Ghost Voigt and Ghost
David.
That's just because of Dexter.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
you know,
Dexter has warped our language for this kind of thing quite effectively.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it has. It's fine.
Yeah. But both of those characters, I think they do a really good job of doing a callback to that and showing again the way these men's lives have so thoroughly,
intertwined.
Exactly. Right. How influenced they are by each other. Right.
Yes.
Oh, I'm really liking that. But yes. So anyway, the plot this week is someone has decided that Sicarius murdered this woman and her daughter. And again, great job using that extra time to get us to spend just enough time with this woman 4 years ago, right? To get us really on board with her and her daughter's plight. Yeah, we're always going to be sad when this family gets murdered mysteriously, but I think the more you do that extra work to humanize them, the more the audience is going to get invested in the mystery of the solution. Because what have we said previously about Criminal Minds? If a child actually gets to speak on screen, they're not going to get killed, and they almost never break that rule. But here you go. That's something they're more willing to do these days.
But we never saw any of it.
No, we didn't see it. We just see that the dead body has been found.
Yeah.
Right. And consequently, you got the situation where they have found one of Sicarius's cases. So they assume he did this crime. Right. Now, the interesting part is, like, we see this woman being attacked, so we have no idea what the case could have contained. And of course, Voigt doesn't explain for, I think, very good reasons. But I think you and I knew right away that, obviously he didn't do this. Right? That this is going to be...
Yes, and I also figured out who did it.
Pretty quickly. Yeah, it's not there's not that many characters. We watch a lot of fiction, so,
Yeah. And you do, and the husband was very clearly cleared of it.
Yes. Yeah, he did have an alibi. That's at the end of the day, he was with his mistress when this happened. So fundamentally,
one of his mistresses, as they point out.
Yeah, he's a real dirtbag.
I mean, he was a real dirtbag, and you knew it when he was leaving because his mother had fallen in the hospital or fallen down or something.
And now she's in the hospital. Yeah.
And so he's a definite dirtbag.
Of him right away.
Well, they were. I just didn't. The alibis were so solid. Like
exactly.
the DA in
South Carolina.
Where are they?
They're in
South Carolina.
Yeah.
They're in South Carolina, right? Durham or something. So what happens, that no, it can't be the husband.
Yeah.
And I mean, mind you, they do a good job of his being an absolute
he's a monster all of the time.
Asshole, right?
Yeah.
Until he says, well, my mother told me I had to do the right thing. That's why I married her.
Yep.
So it's even, right then, that's the only, like, he tells kind of the truth.
Yeah.
There, that no, this wasn't, he didn't. I mean, and who was it who asked the question, why did you marry him?
Oh, yeah. Who was in the room with
Paget?
him? Yeah, I think it was Paget in the room with him. Yeah.
So why did you get married? Or what? Or it could have been Joe,
Either way.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Why did you marry? And he was honest about it.
Yeah,
and that was straightforward. And you're going, okay, they're watching this. And like, I bought the whole thing that I could kind of figure out that, I mean,
I didn't know the motive, but literally the moment the brother-in-law appears on screen, I'm like, well, there's your killer. I guess he and his wife did it. The second they get that character showing up, I'm like, well, there's your killer. Don't know why yet.
Along with the wife. Yeah. But that was, and when I heard the motive, I'm going, yeah. You can, these families who divide their children, and the mother owned the home and gave it to one daughter.
Yep.
And then if she died, it would go to the other daughter. I'm going,
well, let one daughter live there with her to, heal up. And then if she died, it would go to the other daughter, not the one who was actually living with her, taking care of her. Yeah, that's a bad situation, I would say.
No, I would say you want to know how to build up resentment.
Yeah.
And that had to have been based on years of resentment.
Oh, I'm sure.
She also knew that the husband was a scumbag.
Yep.
So you just said these families that want to use their own wealth to control their children. That's all it is.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I was listening to that and I'm just going, yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
I just, okay.
It feels true.
It felt so true. Yeah. You do what I want and maybe you'll get something. And if you're going to sacrifice to me, I mean, it was just, that house should have been sold and the money split between the two daughters.
You got two daughters, you split the money.
And you think the husband could have, because the grandfather, this is their mother. So the grandmother, this is the grandmother of the little girl.
Yep.
So you'd think that, didn't her husband have any influence over?
Apparently not.
His wife?
Yeah.
And then sitting there.
Yeah, and he's looking so baffled that, like, the daughter would feel this way. Did you not know what your wife was like? Did you not
Obviously not.
Yeah. Did you not see her pitting these children against one another their whole lives? Yeah. Like creating a situation where one of them would be so desperate that she would do this? Like it's a rough episode.
Yeah, and from that perspective, it is, because I can think of many examples of things like that. It's just, and this is why you end up with these huge fights.
Yeah,
because these people who want to be in control of everything want to be in control of everything after they die.
Yeah,
it's like, and I guess she just controlled her husband as well.
Yeah,
but it is so true to so many, and I just can't see it. No, what you do is you just divide it equally between your children after it's gone to probate.
Completely reasonable. I know, but just the idea of people divvying up. Yeah,
based on performance.
Well, yeah, and this daughter has a child, so she'll need the space, that kind of thing. Jesus, you monster.
Yeah, but that's not. But you don't set it. You just don't set it up.
No, of course not.
That because the one sister. So the other sister is. I mean, it brought up some arguments I've had periodically.
Yeah.
and I will give this to, for example, Ralph's dad. He just split it between the two sons.
Yep.
That was how you do it.
Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't matter what the structure is if you're going to leave it to children.
Yep.
You're going to stick a lot of strings attached. Well, don't be surprised. Well, of course, they don't have to see the fallout.
Nope. And that's the real tragedy of all of it. It's like
Yes,
these guys don't never have to see the fallout of all of this damage they do to their family.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what this episode is dealing with. It's not a big part of the episode, but it's all there.
Nope. Yeah. And it's I thought it was a really interesting way to combine the story of the week.
Yeah. With
right?
what's going on with Voigt.
With what's going on with Voigt, that somebody is trying. And who was it that said, if you can't figure it out, Voigt just told him.
Yeah. When he's talking
it's
to Tyler.
all there.
Yeah, he's talking to Tyler because Tyler's worried. That's why and that conversation with Voigt is why Tyler goes to to David to ask him, what are we supposed to be doing here? I don't understand. I feel like I'm out of my depth. Right. Yeah. And that's why he goes to him to talk about it, because he has been put in this box by Voigt, because Voigt could tell him who did it. Right.
Yep.
But, he kind of, on one level, he believes that if the state kills him, well, then he doesn't have to deal with his own urges anymore, and he doesn't have to do the hard work. Because there's part of him that wants to escape and run out. But if he escapes, he wouldn't have to deal with the torture of being in prison anymore. But is he escaping because he wants to go back to crime? I would argue that it doesn't seem like that's why. I just think that he has the completely natural reaction of not wanting to be in jail anymore. And the reason he's open to the idea of the state just killing him for a crime he didn't commit is, if he does escape, which he feels like he's going to be compelled to do, he's going to be a danger to people again. And I think he doesn't want to be a danger to people again.
Yeah, you're so buying it. I'm on I'm on Dave's side in this.
I know you're not buying it.
I'm on Ghost Dave's side.
Yeah.
I just think that he's between the devil and the deep blue sea, so to speak.
Yeah.
And six of one, half dozen of another. If he escapes, well, then he can, do like the Trinity killer did and beat himself and cry and weep and wail, and then go back and do it again.
Yeah, but that's why I admit that's in there, and that's why he doesn't want, like, he's willing to consider letting them just kill him, specifically because he doesn't want to end up becoming the person again he knows is in there.
But the point is they're never going to give him to South Carolina.
No, but he thinks there's a chance. He thinks there's a chance, at least. I don't think he's doing that. I don't think this whole thing of him pretending to confess and doing all of this, right, was all a game to make people trust him more so he'll have an easier time escaping later. I think he actually is conflicted. But again,
isn't that what I said? Between the devil and the deep blue sea?
Yeah, like he is.
It's this thing is going on in his brain. He seems to have gained some kind of ethical thought that existed.
Yep.
And of course, nobody's ever taken on our idea that he didn't necessarily kill his parents.
Yeah, it's a thing that
it's a really
good question why they've never addressed that possibility, because honestly, like, this Cyrus was such a monster and he was so happy to have a replacement. You don't think there's a chance, at least, that he was responsible for the death of those parents?
Yeah, they have never, ever, ever questioned that Voigt killed his parents.
Yeah.
And that still goes to that stupid thing that I get so pissed off at that Luke did last week.
Yeah, the genetic stuff.
The genetic stuff. Well, he was born, bad.
That's not how it works, man.
That's not how it works. And you saw, like, I did like a couple of those little flashbacks to Cyrus.
Yeah.
I really liked those.
Cutting back to the sting from season 16. Yeah. It was very good use of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, totally. I thought that was a really nice choice. And yeah, but they're doing a fantastic job of keeping continuity, right? Within like the last few seasons, of keeping track of this story. And to me, I'm like, it's.
Oh, I don't have,
Oh, please.
yes. No, I was going to say, I don't have any issues with their continuity thing.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, there was already the question, of, oh, well, why would he do this? Well, because he wants to commit passive suicide.
Yeah.
Because that's what it would be. But, I mean, they don't know right away that the case is not one of his original cases.
No.
Right? So, because they've got them all.
Yes.
And why there isn't, why there's even any question.
Yes. Yeah.
Of this. They've pulled up all of his cases, so there aren't any out there. And then the only quip I got was when it was the brother-in-law saw.
Yeah.
The brother-in-law actually saw Voigt, right?
No. Oh yeah, no, he takes him into the room. They take him into the room to interview him. Yeah. And they figure just sitting in the room with this monster will make him crack. And that's exactly what happened.
What happened? Yeah.
Which that was pretty funny, honestly. Just put him sitting across from Voigt, the guy he just framed for murder, and see what happens. And the answer is he cracked, because of course he's going to crack.
Well,
he wants to get out of that room.
Yeah, he wants to get away from this guy who kills everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. And so he cracked faster. Because it wasn't his resentment.
No.
It wasn't his revenge. It was her revenge. Right?
Exactly.
And so he just supported her in her revenge. We don't even know who killed who or anything, who took on the
who
daughter,
exactly
who took
did.
on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't know the details of it.
Whether it was, I mean, but their lives had to have been so horrible for her to actually kill her
sister
niece.
And the niece. Yeah.
The sister, I understand.
But the niece? Yeah.
I'm not so sure of.
Yeah.
And that was the thing that, I mean, I guess is it Tyler who was the one that brought up, well, maybe Voigt's embarrassed because he
never killed children. Yeah.
He never killed children. No, that was the clue that Voigt was being set up.
Yeah.
Because he had that strict rule.
He had a very strict rule. Reason. And he did so much research into the people he kidnapped. Right. Yep. He did so much work that he would never. Right. He wouldn't he wouldn't have just wandered in this and found out there was a child there.
Yeah. No, he would have. And he would have taken the wife.
Yeah.
By herself. The sister.
The sister.
Yeah.
By herself. Absolutely.
By herself.
And left the child alone, a thing he had done in the past.
Yeah.
So, I'm very interested to see that.
Yeah. Like it's interesting. And so you see the newer member, like you see Tyler having all sorts of issues and problems. It was already starting last year, and it's all about grief. That was such a good line. And then he still doesn't understand. I thought it was really good when they said the line, like in terms of the lines and character and talking, it's you have to let go of your own stuff.
Yep.
You just have to let go of your own stuff because this is the big flaw. Well, I can't believe that somebody like this would kill their own child or
kill their own relative. Yes. Because he assumed that blood wouldn't turn on blood, and that's just not how it works, man.
Yeah. And you'd think I guess he came into the BAU fast. He got fast tracked into it.
He did.
So he doesn't have an awful lot of experience with blood on blood crime.
Of which there's plenty.
There is plenty.
No shortage of it. Hell, just in the cases they've done on the show, let alone real life.
Yeah. And
for the love of God, one of the actual original BSU guys, his wife hired a hitman to try and kill him.
Come on.
Like this is just part of the story, man.
Yeah, and so he's Tyler does need a little
more seasoning, and that's what he's going through in this episode.
Not only seasoning, he needs to be forced into doing a lot more bookwork.
Yes. Yeah,
like
figuring
sitting and going through cases.
Yeah,
like
going through the old case files of all the killers. Yeah.
Yeah, he needs
that would help
to,
him
he
a lot.
needs yeah, he needs to spend one day a week
Yeah.
at a desk reading case files.
Yep.
Because
it will leave him without this naivete that he still has on some level.
Yeah, and because it's not good enough to just tell him you don't believe that blood would kill blood. Well, I mean, that's just we've got, and in the richest of families, this will happen.
I know.
We've still got the case in the Maritimes,
yep.
Where, well, did he or didn't he? And I'm not sure that it will ever be
fully
resolved completely. Yeah. Did he kill his father or didn't he kill his father? His lawyer makes a good case that he didn't kill his father. Well,
we just don't know.
I'm not so sure. Then you don't know, and you know that husbands and wives. Well, I guess what Tyler would think in his brain is that that's not blood on blood. No, seriously.
No, you're right. He might think that, but man, it's very naive is our point to suggest that people have some kind of an allergy against killing their family members.
And this would be the fact that Tyler has been brought in because of Sicarius.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sicarius is just such a specific
kind of
type
monster.
Of serial killer.
Yeah.
I think this idea that each monster is different. And what do you think? Like, I did like the questioning of what do you think you're really going to learn from these guys?
Yeah.
Because they are each so individual that talking to Sicarius is really not going to give you too much insight other than the family stuff.
Yep.
And when this guy still has never questioned that Cyrus told him he killed his parents.
Yeah. I know that
Go
that's
back
something
to
that
the very
I know.
beginning.
But I'm saying that's something that we, are obsessed with. We don't know if they're ever gonna pull on that thread, but it's an interesting thread that they have available to them because the only thing we know is that that's something Cyrus told him.
Yeah.
We have never suggested that he has concrete memories of killing his parents.
Exactly.
And that is integral to the experience of this character that I want them to really dig in on. And they haven't yet.
Yeah, and he was only 10 years old.
He was only 10 years old.
So, so they he blocked it all out. Well, yes, that is one
That
answer.
is one very valid possibility, is that he didn't do it.
And when you see him in that crate again, with, being, breaking him with a dead dog, and then Cyrus just handing him in the oatmeal, right?
Yeah.
Again, you see all of this, and you see a couple of other things. I have no idea why that thread hasn't been pulled at.
Yeah. Well, they've got plenty of time. They're already shooting season 20. Maybe we'll get it. But you're absolutely right. Yeah, it seems like there's this big thread you could be pulling on that would be very interesting. Because
it is always the upbringing that is key.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the fact is that Voigt doesn't have, even though I was arguing where was I arguing a DID? No, that was in Dexter.
Yeah, that was in Dexter. Okay.
That was in the Dexter book.
He clearly does not have dissociative identity disorder.
No, he doesn't. And that's because he was older. He was 10 years old. He already had everything formed.
Yeah.
So he basically has blotted out everything before. And why they are not looking at his life prior to Cyrus
is weird when you're especially because Tara specifically says she's trying to build a whole idea of what is his whole story.
Yeah.
Well, part of going the whole story is, this is all the stuff that Cyrus did, that he made you do these monstrous things, and he, forced you to become like him. Okay, but what about before Cyrus? And they're not considering that part of the story at all.
No, because the parents didn't want to have anything to do with Cyrus.
Yeah. So they figure it can't possibly be relevant.
And that is ridiculous.
I agree.
That is absolutely ridiculous. So it has to
It
be
is a
that
full
his life was
way of looking
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah. So we're making our case, guys.
It'd be a very interesting way to take it for the character, because it's like, okay, what if this guy who now his brain has been damaged such a way to encourage empathy instead of discourage it? What if he found out that no, he wasn't fated. There was no bad seed part of his origin. He was not fated to become this. What would that do to him further?
Yeah, like let's you guys use hypnosis.
Yeah.
You guys use EMDR, by the way, is what I was looking for.
Thank you.
It's EMDR. It just came to me now.
Okay.
But you use EMDR. You use hypnosis.
Yeah.
You use all of these things. So why aren't you just going to break whatever block he's got?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't seem to remember anything before the age of 10.
Well, and the thing is, again, we're not pitching this to anybody. Don't worry. But
no.
I'm just going to point out that they said,
We're not
Cyrus.
asking for it, yeah.
No, we're not. But we're saying they have left it open for this because what did they do? They said Cyrus had a what do you call it? Cyrus had an alibi for the night the parents died, right? And that's fine.
Yeah.
But here's my point. He can't have an alibi. Cyrus was a scumbag who knew a lot of scumbags, because you don't have to say he was consciously trying to steal Voigt. You can literally just say he asked a guy to burn down his brother's house so that he would inherit all of their money, because he was the only family. And if the whole family dies, he could inherit that money. Because spoiler alert, as we pointed out in this episode, murdering a family member and their child for their money is something that just happens.
Yeah.
And so it could have been Cyrus to a great surprise on Cyrus's front, right? That the kid survived. He didn't plan for that. He wasn't hoping that would happen. It just happened and he went from there. Like, that's a perfect way to completely upend Voight's self-identity.
Because it is clear, we have had a few intimations that Cyrus had to work really hard
to break him. In a way that he wouldn't have if he was always already so damaged that he purposefully started a fire to kill his parents, which is what we've been told, which is what he believes.
Why would Cyrus then have to break him
this hard if he was already dead inside?
Yeah.
Again, so it's actually, I mean, you can say, well, we're just doing our fan fiction, doing our plot thing. It makes everything about this character make more sense if this is what happened.
Yeah. And this is why he can find the empathy thing.
Yes. Why they were able to reactivate the empathy.
Because he had it before
he was so
Cyrus,
brutalized. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might say, well, how do you lose empathy in life? It can happen. Literally, rich people lose their ability to empathize with other people. Mirror neurons stop firing. They stop looking at people and seeing their emotions and feeling the emotions themselves, which is at the heart of empathy. Seeing an emotion someone is feeling on their face and you feel it too. That's where empathy starts. That's what empathy grows out of. And that can degrade as you are separated from other people. And science has proven that rich people are less capable of being able to empathize with other people than normal, decent human beings.
Regular people.
Decent human beings as opposed to rich people who are generally monsters. But the reason they are allowed to be monsters is, and it's the way they talk, you can see that they don't have empathy. Well, the fact is that lack of empathy is created by the way wealth separates from human concerns. Yes. When you're separated from all human struggle, you stop thinking of human struggle as a real thing. And this is how you get, people saying, well, if their lives suck, why don't they do something about it?
Yeah. Or, well,
the bootstrap myth.
Well, I pulled myself up from
the bootstrap myth.
My dad gave me $1 million.
Yeah. And it's like, then you find out.
It was only $1 million. Come on.
Then you find out the truth of the story is that Donald Trump never had a successful business. He was always just a front man for his dad's business his whole life. He never actually had a business. His whole career was literally just his dad him fronting his dad's business moves and him going on television and telling everybody he was a billionaire. Like, that was his job, fronting his dad's business and pretending to be a billionaire on TV.
And having a good time.
And having a great time.
Which is why his dad could force him to marry Marla Maples
when she was pregnant. Yeah, because his dad was in a position to cut him off. Yep. As he always has been. Trump has never been successful. He's never been a real businessman. And, he was a party boy, and that's the end of what he was. It's a very fascinating story, but it's the same thing. Like, people betray their families. People murder their family members. Like, this is a thing that happens. And adding this element to Voigt's story, right, of making him question these first things about himself, that's a really compelling place to go down. And the options are all there, because it would, I mean, honestly, if we could actually say that we're thinking that this story about the woman murdering her, sister and niece just for money could, as we just said, a perfect way into the Voigt story of like, yeah, no, he just murdered your parents so he would inherit the family money, and he wound up with you in the bargain.
Yeah.
Imagine what that would do to him.
Yeah. And then, but Cyrus, being as manipulative as he was going to take advantage of this situation, because now he had help.
Exactly.
At least burying the bodies.
At first burying the bodies. Yeah. But then like using him for everything later. And by convincing him that he was a monster, then it's the easiest way to get him to help and accept this kind of thing. So yeah.
And there's the Dexter story as well.
Exactly. There's the Dexter story all over. I know that we're basically just turning Sicarius into Dexter at this point. But there's some overlap there anyway.
Except that Sicarius was older. He was 10 years old.
He was older. But I'm just saying overlap in the kind of like precise psychopath with an elaborate system for how to get away with it. They both have that going for them as character archetypes. Yeah. So like I said, I'm really happy with this episode because it allows us to dig in very well. Let's talk briefly about the JJ stuff. Which I'm going to say it. I was pretty happy with. I think it was nice.
It was nice. The Penelope and JJ stuff was nice. It was nice to
I really enjoyed that.
And Penelope is still living her life, and Luke and she are best friends. Yeah. It's still.
I know.
So that's great.
They're such a great pair. Yeah. And that's why we found it so frustrating when they decided to make them a romantic thing at the end of the season. They tried. Yeah. Well, but I mean, as you're the one who called it when it was happening, that they were going to be doing that. I'm like, no, but they work so great as these best friends. I don't think that's the right thing to do. And thankfully the show figured it out too, because they really are great as best friends. And you have this moment where it's like, because of everything that's going on with JJ, quite understandably, you've got that Luke knows more about Penelope's life than she does. She's completely out of the loop on her various romantic escapades. So I thought that was a nice touch. Like I thought that played really well.
It's the Melina the never on Sunday approach.
Yes. That was a nice one too.
Different man every night. But,
never on Sunday. Yeah.
This is Tuesday's guy, Thursday's guy. Well, he's turning into Saturday's guy. Too.
Sounds like it might be moving in a serious direction. And she's like, nope, that's not me. I don't do serious directions anymore. Oh, I love that. I thought that was wonderful.
Yeah, no, it's and doing the camping in the
the indoor camping. Oh my God, I was not ready for how tall Henry is this season. He's shot up a foot since last season.
He must look like his dad.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because the second one,
looks so much like her. I'm forgetting the second son's name, but yes.
Yeah,
looks
I can't remember right now.
And he does not. The first Henry does not at all. So you're right. He must look like her husband.
I'm going, wow. I'm assuming it really is her son.
Oh no,
These are her sons.
Those are still her being played by her sons. Yeah.
And as I said, but you can so tell it with the younger one. He just
Oh,
whoa,
absolutely.
this
Yeah.
is JJ's, and the other one is the son. Looks like the father.
Must is what I'm
Must
saying, right?
look, yeah.
Must, given it so tall and looks so different from her.
Yeah. Sam, I think, is the other one. Henry and Sam?
I think.
No?
It's not important.
Anyway, never mind. It's not important.
Not important.
Anyway, the kids, and they did. I mean, I think Penelope and Luke came up with a solution to the camping thing.
Yeah.
Even
it was
if
very
I mean,
sweet.
it was pretty funny when Penelope says, "Well, I could have put stars on this, painted stars on the ceiling."
How
I
she
guess.
like you immediately imagine her wanting to run out to the store and grab the fluorescent paint immediately. It's just good. That's just who she is, man.
You know, if I need to do that, that's it, and we'll turn off all the lights.
Yeah, but there's room for these great character moments.
Just a few of them, and you saw Rebecca just, like I really like the scene with Rebecca and the district attorney too, right at the beginning.
Yes.
Those little like, oh no, this can't be Voigt.
Yeah.
Please, no.
I am through doing paperwork on this. He can't have killed somebody else.
No, I don't need.
Yeah,
right?
This is the last thing I need right now is more Voigt paperwork.
And the thing is that it doesn't matter what Voigt wanted. I can't imagine them turning Voigt over to the state.
No,
like I don't know
I see your point
what was
there.
in the district attorney's head. I know that he's probably got an election coming up, so therefore, wouldn't it be great
if he could prosecute this incredibly famous killer who did something
and put him on the chair or whatever they do in South Carolina?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're right. Like the logic of why the character would do that, but you're right that he was delusional to think that the federal government would ever going to let him go.
No, they're not going to let him go.
Of course not.
And he's never going to escape. It doesn't have to be a Hannibal Lecter situation.
Yeah. No, I don't think he will.
Well, I don't know. I can't imagine.
No, it could happen.
He doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to, but he could be put in a position where, weirdly, he doesn't have an option but to escape.
Well, we'll see.
We're going to see. We're not predicting any particular way this season is going, but his idea about escaping and his motive for why he wants to escape, right? That is what I really want them to get into. What is keeping him back? I think that's why he was willing to consider suicide by government, is because he's afraid that he won't be able to control himself as he leaves. And this is where it comes down to, am I being too sappy? We can discuss it. I think he honestly doesn't want to kill anymore. He wants to beat his addiction.
Well, if he really wants to beat his addiction,
he has to.
Then we have to get into the first 10 years of his life, guys,
to understand where it comes from. I know. And if Tara was better at her job, that is what she would be focused on.
Well, as we know, we won't get into our discussions of Tara.
Yeah. Our previous feelings about Tara that have been, ever since she got a genuinely good romance in the show, now we can't really say that about her anymore. All right, fine.
Okay, fine. But that means, then what are you going to do? This is at some level, malpractice.
Yes, that she is not being willing. But again, we don't know where the season's going. It's possible they're going here
or maybe she is doing it, but we've seen no sign. And
the thing is, because whether they want to do the reveal that Cyrus was responsible for his parents' death and his whole life is a lie, or whether they want to just get into how someone becomes a monster like this, at some point, you have to look at the first 10 years of his life.
Exactly.
Why doesn't he have empathy? You're right. Like, no matter where they want to take the story, it is malpractice on her part that she isn't looking hard at the first 10 years of his life.
Yeah.
Right? That this isn't a major component of what she's working on. You're right. Like, they just have to.
And particularly since it appears from everything we've known over these 4 seasons.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That Cyrus, it was very hard for Cyrus to break him.
Yes.
And it was even when he tried to, because remember the scenes where he was trying to get Voigt to kill the first time.
Yep.
And of course, that's because it was Tyler's sister.
No, that was the earlier one.
No, the other one.
No, that was one he did on his own. No, it was the woman that they brought and locked up onto the.
That's it. Oh yes. The fiance.
Yeah, whose fiance went to jail, and then they had to clear him. Yeah.
Yes, that was it. Right. So that is, and he's much older by then, so he's already 16, 17 at that point.
Yeah, and that's what it takes to get him there. And it's like, if he had no conscience the whole time growing up, why would this be so hard for him?
Why would it be so hard for Cyrus to break him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It just, narratively, it makes more sense if Cyrus was responsible. And again, this episode offers you completely easy wrapped way to explain why and how Cyrus killed his parents. He just had somebody light that place on fire in the hopes that it would kill the whole family and he would get the money, and he wound up with inheriting a kid.
Yeah.
Here's the only plot thing I'm going to say about the episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did the couple go and buy a Sicarius case and plant it in the car? Like, when did that actually happen? Because we find out that the car only gets found by complete luck because there's a drought, right?
Yes.
That's the only reason. So it's like, did he put it right before it was found? Did he somehow trigger it getting found? Because I find it slightly weird that he was able to, go back to the car, that it would occur to him to go back to the car and plant in the trunk with the little girl's body a case that looks like this. And how, and this is the big part, maybe the forensic wasn't doing a good job. Okay. That can happen. Forensics can be just as bad as anybody else in the policing world. But the fact is, we know that this woman was killed in 2022, and the cops are assuming he did it on the way out of the state after killing Cyrus, right? That is the assumption they're making. They full on say so, right? That on the way out of the state, after killing his uncle, he killed this woman and her daughter. But my point is, so Sicarius wasn't caught until a year later, right? And they didn't have the what do you call it? They didn't have his MO wasn't open to the public, as they point out in the show, until Brian's podcast. Right. So you put those two things together and you end up asking this weird question, which is, and they know it couldn't have been him because the serial number on the case wasn't made until 2023 after his arrest. Right. So the guy had only just recently bought it. And so this is my hugely roundabout way of asking the question. How did he plant that case without disturbing the car? Because anyone forensically looking at the car would see that someone went into it after the swamp had receded and the car had been revealed.
Okay, here's what I would think.
Okay.
If I'm going to try and make a
explanation for this one.
Explanation for this.
Yeah.
So they were killed in 2022.
Yes.
And
that night they went in the swamp.
Yes. Now, here's the thing, is that I suspect not the sister.
No.
But her husband.
Okay.
Is quasi racked with guilt.
Okay.
Not racked with guilt. Like she's racked with sort of guilt because she did it.
Yeah. And so she's trying to pretend it never happens, and they talk about it. Yeah.
And she can't move on with her life. Well, okay, but she's married.
Yeah.
And this guy is living with her. And he knows that she's not grieving.
Yeah.
Because she did it with him. And so he may just be connecting all the time with where they dumped the car.
Okay. So he might
particularly he might just check on it every so often.
Yeah.
And he might have seen it coming out before anybody else found it.
And so he realized inevitably someone was going to find it. And when he realized someone was going to find it, he thought to himself, okay,
I can do
use
the
this to
Sicarius
frame.
podcast thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, why did it occur to him that someone was going to find the car? Because if they had said that he then like not told someone where the car was, but like in some way led people to the car after playing the Sicarius evidence, but there's no suggestion that he did that. So I was a little confused.
No, it was just, it was hopefully the car. Now, here's what I would say, right? Yeah. They always talk about the criminal returning to the scene of the crime.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's already
doing
living in the scene of the crime.
That's true.
So, and so there's I cannot imagine, like in my head, logically, I understand, but emotionally, I'm going, how the hell could you live in this
that house? Yeah.
Where you had killed? Now, the sister is so filled with resentment and has been so destroyed.
Yeah.
During her life by her jealousy of her older sister, and the mother's
understand how she can do it.
I can understand how she can do it,
but
because this is a big win for her.
Yeah.
But the husband has got to have some kind of because it's been 4 years.
Actually, you know what? Now that you say that, I realize that watching it, the show does like their main message is that he is racked with guilt.
Yeah. And that's why he cracks so quickly.
And that's why he cracks immediately. First, trying to run away even before they have said any evidence. And second, when he comes face to face with Sicarius. So yeah, you're right. The him being racked with guilt, and that would explain why he was constantly driving by. And that would explain why when he sees the car has been revealed, he tells his wife and he starts to panic about it. Like somebody's going to find the thing, and they know that the husband has an alibi. So what are we going to do? And then she would have come up with this cockamamie, Sicarius idea. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. Now that you say it that way, it is totally plausible that he was obsessively driving by. Yeah, because my big question was, how did they know the car was going to get fined to plant it there, and wouldn't people have noticed that the car had been tampered with between being dumped and it was planted? Yeah.
Okay. Once it begins to show, like the roof would have shown first.
Yeah.
And probably nobody would have noticed
to like go and throw it into the back seat. You're right.
Throw it into the back seat so that it becomes covered in muck and everything else.
With everything
so
else.
that it wouldn't. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? You've like the way you've laid this out, I think that makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. I think though.
Sometimes I can come up with my scenarios.
No, I think that makes perfect sense because fundamentally, like he would be obsessed, right? He would be haunted by this because it is a horrible thing that the two of them did. And apart from all of his wife's constant justifications that he on one level accepts, there's a part of him that is still tortured by this. And that is why he would go by over and over again, and he would report to her. Okay, yeah, no, this tracks completely logically. You're right.
He would only have to go by once a month, even.
Yeah, to see it start to resurface and start panicking to his wife.
As the water starts to
recede. Yeah.
Recede, yeah.
And yeah, so he's panicking. He tells the wife about it, and she comes up with the Sicarius idea, and then they just throw it in the car, hoping they'll get away with it. But of course, they don't. So there you go. Okay. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think that tracks logically. Mm-hmm. All right, I had one issue with the episode. There it is, all gone. So yeah,
I solved it.
Even better than I thought it was. No, but it's a very good episode because of the family issues it deals with. Now, as you say, it would be nice if they could have tied that more closely to Sicarius, but there's still time for them to do that. And more importantly, the stuff about him wanting to die, it really opens up a very big question for the character.
Yeah, and the thing is that it does. So it is, I would like to see him start to have, I would like to see, here's what I would like to see.
Yeah.
Yes, because now he's in his 40s, 50s?
40s.
40s, okay. So, and as I always say, women start cracking up earlier. Men start in their 40s, 50s to crack up. So I'm sitting here. So he's in this stressor. He's got the ethics. He now has empathy.
Yeah.
I assume I've accepted that he does have, that his empathetic is real.
Yeah.
And so, and he's going to be there all of his life. And the only things that he remembers is everything from the age of 10
onwards. Yeah.
But let's say he starts, because some of what is happening inside himself, part of him that has blocked off, because he's believed Cyrus.
Yeah.
The part of him that has blocked off
will start breaking
the
down.
First 10 years. Now, this may be what we're witnessing is the beginning of a crack in the dam.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to start having the odd dream.
Yep. Dream, flashback. Yes.
To life before Cyrus.
Yeah. And
just a little trickle, a little crack.
But enough to make him start asking the questions.
Yeah.
And that's where it would be so fascinating.
And whether he will tell Tara about it is an open question, because Tara is not what I would call someone, like, I'm surprised that she gets what she gets out of people, because she is not.
She does not have the best bedside manner as a doctor.
Or as a psychiatrist, dealing with these people.
No.
Like, I could see, remember in Manhunter, the TV series,
Hannibal.
Okay, not Hannibal, but Burgess. Anne Burgess, the woman, the psychiatrist who did work with the BS. Mindhunters.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, she's Mindhunters.
I got confused.
Yeah. That character.
Yes.
You can see sitting down and being able to have.
Get right into, like, getting, essentially
sort of
being
empathy.
able to connect with almost anybody because of the radical empathy in a way that you just don't see Tara, like, in any way possessing.
She doesn't have radical empathy. No. She has a keen interest in all of this.
But she
and
sees
very
them as
clinical.
objects to be studied.
Yes. She doesn't see them as
to be
damaged,
yeah.
damaged human beings.
To reach out to, which is absolutely what was going on in Mindhunters.
Yeah. And so it's the Anne Burgess character. Still haven't bought her latest book.
We probably should.
I know, we keep saying we're going to, and then we will discuss it.
Yeah, we can discuss that later. But yeah, it is going to be very interesting. No, if he had someone that level, they would be going there. But you know what? Again, it's entirely possible that Tara is going to surprise us.
Well, what I would say is only if the crack in the dam and he starts having nightmares.
Yes, that would be the sign that it was going to move it in that direction.
You see, the thing is that he wouldn't have the flashbacks he has had are all post Cyrus.
Of course. Yeah, because he's full
everything.
Stop. As far as we can tell, he has no idea what happened to him before the age of 10.
No.
As far as we can tell.
It's a complete
It is a black box.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, what it is, he has created a massive, like, the memory palace. Well, this is
the reverse.
Sort
it's
of
a memory
an Escher.
Prison. No, it's
a memory prison.
Yeah, where they just locked everything away.
And inside it is Escher.
Yeah. Where he would never be able to find his way through the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
So and so if we have a little bit this time, a crack in the dam,
then
who knows
where it could go next time. Yeah.
Well, because he is now in a state of conflict.
Yep.
And David is the part of him that is very cynical.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got this empathy that he can barely
control.
With.
Like he can't control. He doesn't know how to stop it.
He can't kind of control it, but he doesn't want to talk to the
to
the parents of the victims and the rest of it. He's still, that cynical part of him is still there.
Yeah, because he doesn't believe it'll help, because he's not ready to say. And I mean, the crazy part is, this is going to be my reading of that. Now, this one maybe not what they're intending at all, but if he starts hearing about the pain, right, that all these people have suffered, I think that because of the empathy, he doesn't want to risk thinking of his own torment and thinking of himself as a victim.
Yeah, you see, and that fits
what we're talking about perfectly. I think you can read it that way, that it's like, if he starts empathizing with his victims, he will see himself in them, and the
families of the victims.
And it's like, at one point, maybe that's what he was, and he can't accept that idea. So,
Yeah.
All right. We think that there's very interesting things they can be doing with him this season. And I would agree with what Breen said. They are not letting Voigt drive the season. He is just one of the characters whose journey we're on. And the cases of the week are really solid cases of the week that do not rely on him. He is just one factor in the investigation.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, he's not driving the action this year. Now, he will be a little, we've just found out this week, because he gets his fan mail and somebody has done a Jack Torrance on the fan mail and written that he's not pathetic over and over again 10,000 times. I thought that was really
pathetic.
nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
in
we'll
all
see.
of these different formats.
Well, it was, I really, whoever sat there and
that was all done
programmed
on
the computer to
yeah.
done. No, I know there, but somebody had to sit and say, okay,
sit through the formatting. Yeah, again, hi, if you are the production person who made those pages, congratulations. We know it wasn't as hard as on The Shining, when there was a man on that production whose job was literally to just sit there with an actual manual typewriter and do that for a month. He showed up every day and worked 8 hours just making that for a month. And by the way, then did it again in all the languages that they were going to dub the movie in. That's a true fact. If you go watch it in Italian, there's a different book.
Yep.
That's a real thing that Kubrick was crazy enough to demand.
Yeah, well,
and it's different. And by the way, it's different sayings in every language, because all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. It doesn't make sense in other languages because it's not a phrase they use. So there you go. Okay. Like, we understand it was less work, but it's still an incredibly impressive amount of work.
No, I really, looking
did.
through all of that, I love that.
Oh, no, it's so good that they did that. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah. So did I. I'm sitting there
loved
looking.
That.
Whoa!
So
this
cool.
end and and in the circle. Never mind.
The circle, the one that looks like an eye. The one that's all stretched out and wavy. Like, there's so much work that went into this. I was so impressed to see like the production putting in that kind of work for a prop that's only going to be on screen for how many seconds? 5 seconds? 10 seconds tops?
10 seconds tops.
Yeah. So way to go. Seriously, way to go. All right. So that's that. We're going to wrap it up here.
Shut up. Yep.
Yeah. We can keep talking about how much the production impressed us, but I think they know at this point. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if there's a part of this episode that you absolutely love and thought we misunderstood the way I did and had to be corrected on, drop us a line at profilingcriminalminds@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. If you were listening on an app or podcast or watching on YouTube, hi, thanks, rate, review, and subscribe. That's how people find out about the show. We're going to be back here next week, a little late for the next episode because I'm on vacation next week, so it's going to be difficult to record, but we will have our next episode up before before episode 5 airs. Like, episode 4's Profiling Criminal Minds will be up before episode 5 airs. It's just probably not going to be up, the Friday or Saturday is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, when are you coming back?
That's a thing we can discuss off
Oh,
mic.
I see. Okay.
The point
Curious.
is, you will have a new episode before. Trust me on that one.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll see you back here for that. But until then, we'll say that's right. Au revoir.
And have a good week.